Archaeological discoveries academia prefers to keep silent. Before we uncover the archaeological discoveries, so shocking that prestigious universities have spent decades burying them in vaults and forgotten archives, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Because what you're about to learn about suppressed evidence that could rewrite human history will forever change how you see our past and the institutions that control it. If these mind-blowing revelations about hidden archaeological treasures shock you as much as they shock me, drop that like button to help expose these suppressed truths. The academic conspiracy, when evidence threatens theory. In the shadowy corridors of the world's most prestigious universities, behind locked doors marked restricted access and faculty only, lie artifacts and discoveries that could revolutionize our understanding of human civilization. These aren't theoretical possibilities or speculative finds. These are tangible, documented discoveries that have been systematically hidden from public view because they contradict the carefully constructed narrative of human development that academia has spent centuries building. The pattern is always the same. Groundbreaking discovery is made. Initial excitement among researchers gives way to disturbing realization that the find contradicts established timelines. Pressure is applied from department heads and funding organizations. Evidence is quietly relocated to storage facilities. Publications are canceled or heavily edited, and researchers are reassigned to safer projects that don't threaten archaeological orthodoxy. What makes this conspiracy particularly insidious is that it operates through seemingly legitimate academic processes. Discoveries aren't dramatically suppressed with obvious censorship. They simply disappear into bureaucratic labyrinths of further study, additional analysis, and peer review processes that ensure revolutionary evidence never reaches public consciousness. The cost of this academic silence is incalculable. Every suppressed discovery represents lost opportunities for advancing human knowledge, understanding our true origins, and recognizing the sophisticated achievements of ancient civilizations that challenge comfortable assumptions about linear progress and technological development. The Forbidden Pyramids, advanced architecture hidden from history. Deep in the Amazon rainforest, where conventional archaeology insists only primitive hunter-gatherer societies existed, satellite imaging and ground-penetrating radar have revealed pyramid complexes that dwarf the structures at Giza. These aren't natural formations or modern constructions. These are ancient megalithic pyramids, built with precision engineering that shouldn't have existed in pre-Columbian South America. The most significant discovery occurred in 2019, when a joint expedition from 3 major universities uncovered a pyramid complex in the Mato Grosso region that showed carbon dating results of 12,000 years, making it older than any known civilization in the Americas. The structures demonstrated advanced mathematical knowledge, astronomical alignments that track celestial cycles with modern precision, and construction techniques that required sophisticated understanding of engineering principles. The initial research team prepared papers for publication in Nature and Science, but the articles were withdrawn after peer review concerns that focused not on methodology, but on implications. Internal university emails, leaked by concerned faculty members, revealed pressure from the Brazilian government and international archaeological organizations to classify the findings as culturally sensitive and restrict public access. The pyramid complex remains off-limits to independent researchers, guarded by Brazilian military units that claim to be protecting indigenous cultural sites. Meanwhile, the original discovery team has been disbanded, their research confiscated, and their careers effectively destroyed through academic ostracism that ensures no major university will employ them. Similar suppressions have occurred worldwide. In Bosnia, Dr. Samir Osmanagic's discovery of what appears to be the world's largest pyramid complex has faced systematic academic denial despite clear evidence of artificial construction, geometric precision, and sophisticated internal chambers. The European Archaeological Association has actively campaigned to prevent funding for further excavation, not because the evidence is insufficient, but because it's too compelling. The impossible artifacts, technology before its time. In museums' basement storage facilities around the world lie artifacts that demonstrate technological capabilities that official timelines claim didn't exist for thousands of years after their creation. These out-of-place artifacts, or UPARTs, represent perhaps the most direct evidence that human technological development didn't follow the linear progression that academic orthodoxy demands. The Coso artifact, discovered in California in 1961, consists of what appears to be a spark plug encased in a geode that's been dated to 500,000 years ago. Despite decades of attempts to explain it as a hoax or misidentified natural formation, materials analysis conducted by multiple universities has confirmed that it contains manufactured components that predate official human technology by hundreds of millennia. The discovery has never been officially reported in major archaeological journals, not because the evidence is questionable, but because it's unquestionably authentic. The implications that advanced human or non-human civilizations existed hundreds of thousands of years before conventional timelines suggest are too threatening to established archaeological narratives. The London hammer presents another impossible timeline problem. This 19th century tool was found embedded in Cretaceous limestone dated to 140 million years ago. Multiple universities have confirmed the dating and verified that the hammer shows no signs of recent insertion into the rock formation. The artifact remains in private hands after major museums declined to acquire it, citing interpretive difficulties that could confuse public understanding of geological timelines. The Klerksdorp spheres from South Africa present even more disturbing evidence of advanced prehistoric technology. These metallic spheres, found in 3-billion-year-old rock formations, show signs of artificial manufacture with precisely balanced internal structures and surface markings that suggest purposeful design. NASA scientists who examined the spheres confirmed they demonstrate engineering principles that modern technology struggles to replicate. Academic response has been to ignore rather than debunk these artifacts. No papers have been published explaining how natural processes could create such precisely manufactured objects, because no such explanation exists that doesn't acknowledge artificial creation by unknown technological civilizations. The genetic anomalies, DNA that rewrites human origins. Perhaps the most explosive suppressed discoveries involve genetic evidence that contradicts everything taught about human evolution and migration patterns. DNA analysis of ancient human remains has revealed genetic markers that shouldn't exist according to current understanding of human development, suggesting either unknown human subspecies or genetic influences from sources that orthodox science refuses to acknowledge. The most significant discovery involves the Paracas skulls from Peru, which demonstrate genetic markers that don't match any known human population. Dr. Brian Forster's DNA analysis, conducted by independent laboratories, revealed genetic sequences that suggest either unknown human hybridization or the presence of genetic material from sources that current evolutionary theory cannot explain. Major universities that initially agreed to participate in the analysis withdrew after preliminary results threatened to overturn fundamental assumptions about human genetic development. The samples were returned to Dr. Forster with statements that the DNA was too degraded for analysis, despite the same laboratories having successfully analyzed much older samples for other projects. Similarly explosive are the genetic studies of European megalithic sites, where analysis of human remains has revealed genetic markers, suggesting advanced understanding of selective breeding and possibly genetic manipulation that predates official development of agricultural civilizations by thousands of years. These studies have been systematically excluded from major genetic databases and prevented from publication in peer-reviewed journals through editorial policies that require extraordinary evidence for findings that challenge established evolutionary timelines, standards that are conveniently raised whenever evidence threatens orthodox narratives. The underwater cities, civilizations beneath the waves. Rising sea levels at the end of the last ice age submerged vast coastal areas, where advanced civilizations may have flourished during periods when ocean levels were hundreds of feet lower. Underwater archaeology has revealed megalithic structures, sophisticated harbors, and urban complexes that demonstrate advanced engineering capabilities existing thousands of years before conventional timelines suggest such civilizations were possible. The most extensively documented site lies off the coast of Japan, where the Yonaguni Monument demonstrates clear evidence of artificial construction with precisely cut angles, geometric patterns, and structural elements that natural geological processes cannot explain. Despite over 2 decades of study, by marine geologists and underwater archaeologists, the site remains officially classified as a natural formation due to academic resistance to acknowledging advanced prehistoric civilizations. Dr. Masaaki Kimura of the University of the Ryukyus has documented extensive evidence of artificial construction at Yonaguni, including quarry marks, post holes, and structural joints that demonstrate sophisticated understanding of underwater construction techniques. His research has been systematically excluded from major archaeological publications and international conferences due to its implications for prehistoric civilization timelines. Similar underwater discoveries off the coasts of India, the Mediterranean, and the Caribbean have faced comparable academic suppression. The Gulf of Cambay site off India's coast has revealed urban planning and architectural sophistication that predates the Indus Valley civilization by thousands of years. But international archaeological organizations have prevented comprehensive excavation through bureaucratic obstacles and funding restrictions. The crystal skulls, impossible precision in ancient artifacts. Among the most controversial suppressed artifacts are the crystal skulls that demonstrate precision manufacturing that should be impossible using ancient technology. These artifacts, carved from single pieces of quartz crystal, show no evidence of tool marks despite being shaped with precision that modern technology struggles to achieve. The Mitchell Hedges skull, discovered in Belize in 1927, has been subjected to extensive analysis by Hewlett-Packard and other technology companies. Their studies revealed that the skull was carved against the natural crystal matrix in ways that should cause fracturing, yet shows no damage. The precision of the carving, particularly around the eye sockets and jaw mechanism, exceeds what modern diamond-tip tools can achieve. Academic response has been to dismiss the skulls as modern forgeries, without conducting the detailed materials analysis that could definitively resolve their age and manufacturing methods. This dismissal serves to avoid confronting evidence that ancient civilizations possess technology that surpasses contemporary capabilities in specific manufacturing techniques. The few universities that have attempted serious study of the crystal skulls have faced pressure to abandon their research or risk losing funding from organizations that support orthodox archaeological narratives. The skulls remain in private collections or small museums that lack the resources for comprehensive analysis. The giant skeletons, suppressed evidence of ancient giants. Perhaps no archaeological discovery has been more systematically suppressed than the evidence for human giants in ancient populations. Newspaper accounts from the 19th and early 20th centuries document hundreds of discoveries of human skeletons measuring 7 to 12 feet in height, found throughout North America and other continents in association with sophisticated burial practices and advanced artifacts. The Smithsonian Institution and other major museums acquired many of these remains, but they subsequently disappeared from collections without explanation. Freedom of Information Act requests for documentation of these acquisitions have been denied or returned with heavily redacted responses that obscure the fate of the specimens. The suppression appears to be systematic policy rather than individual decisions. University archaeology departments have informal guidelines that discourage students and faculty from pursuing research into anomalous human remains, while funding is restricted for projects that might validate historical accounts of giant human populations. The few surviving examples of giant skeletal remains are held in private collections or small museums that lack the resources for comprehensive analysis. Academic institutions that could conduct definitive studies decline to examine the specimens, citing ethical concerns or lack of provenance. Standards that are selectively applied only to discoveries that threaten established narratives. The forbidden manuscripts, written evidence of advanced civilizations. University libraries and private collections contain manuscripts and inscriptions that describe technological achievements and historical events that predate official civilization timelines by thousands of years. These written records, many authenticated through paleographic analysis, provide detailed accounts of advanced ancient civilizations that orthodox archaeology insists never existed. The Sumerian tablets from Eridu describe manufacturing processes for advanced alloys and astronomical observations that require sophisticated mathematical knowledge. Despite being translated by leading cuneiformists, These tablets are rarely mentioned in mainstream archaeological publications, and their technological descriptions are dismissed as mythology rather than historical accounts. The Sanskrit texts from India contain detailed descriptions of flying vehicles, advanced weapons, and communication technologies that predate official invention of such devices by millennia. While the texts themselves are accepted as authentic historical documents, their technological content is systematically ignored by mainstream archaeology or relegated to religious mythology that can be safely dismissed. The Dead Sea Scrolls contain references to advanced metallurgy, precision agriculture, and urban planning techniques that suggest technological sophistication far exceeding conventional estimates of first-century capabilities. These references are typically excluded from published translations or footnoted as unclear passages that require further study. The megalithic mysteries, precision that defies primitive tools. Around the world, megalithic sites demonstrate precision construction techniques that academic orthodoxy claims were impossible using the primitive tools supposedly available to ancient builders. Rather than acknowledge advanced ancient technology, mainstream archaeology has developed increasingly implausible explanations for how primitive societies achieve precision that challenges modern engineering capabilities. Pumapunku in Bolivia contains stone blocks fitted together with tolerances measured in millimeters, despite being carved from extremely hard diorite and andesite that resist even modern diamond-tipped tools. The precision of the interlocking joints exceeds what contemporary stonemasons can achieve using traditional methods. Yet academic explanations continue to insist these were created using copper tools and stone hammers. The Great Pyramid of Giza demonstrates mathematical and engineering precision that incorporates advanced knowledge of pi, the golden ratio, the speed of light, and the dimensions of the Earth. Despite decades of measurements confirming these mathematical relationships, mainstream Egyptology maintains that they are coincidences created by primitive builders using simple tools and basic mathematics. The suppression of megalithic precision evidence operates through academic protocols that discourage precise measurements and mathematical analysis of ancient sites. Graduate students who propose research into advanced ancient engineering are typically redirected to safer topics that don't challenge orthodox narratives about primitive ancient technology. The dating controversies, when science contradicts history. Perhaps the most systematic suppression involves archaeological dating that contradicts established historical timelines. When radiocarbon dating, thermoluminescence analysis, and other scientific dating methods produce results that challenge orthodox chronologies, the dates are often dismissed as contaminated samples or methodological errors, rather than evidence that historical timelines are incorrect. Göbekli Tepe's official dating of 11,500 years ago already challenges conventional understanding by predating agriculture by thousands of years, but suppressed dating evidence suggests the site may be even older. Additional dating conducted by independent laboratories has produced results exceeding 15,000 years, but these findings have been excluded from official publications as outliers that require additional confirmation. The Sphinx at Giza shows clear evidence of water erosion that could only occur during periods of heavy rainfall that ended over 10,000 years ago, thousands of years before conventional Egyptology claims the monument was constructed. Geological evidence for ancient dating is systematically ignored by archaeological institutions that refuse to acknowledge the implications for established chronologies. Similar dating controversies exist at sites worldwide, where scientific analysis consistently produces dates that predate conventional historical timelines. Rather than revising historical understanding based on scientific evidence, academic institutions have developed policies that subordinate scientific dating to historical orthodoxy. The technology gap, ancient achievements that surpass modern capabilities. Some suppressed archaeological discoveries reveal ancient technological achievements that surpass modern capabilities in specific areas, challenging assumptions about linear technological progress and suggesting that ancient civilizations developed advanced technologies through different developmental paths. The Damascus steel produced in medieval times demonstrated metallurgical properties that modern science cannot replicate despite understanding its molecular structure. The technology was lost, and attempts to recreate it using modern techniques have failed to match the original's performance characteristics. Roman concrete used in harbor construction has proven more durable than modern concrete, remaining intact underwater for over 2,000 years, while modern structures deteriorate within decades. Analysis of Roman concrete reveals sophisticated understanding of chemical processes that modern engineering is still attempting to understand and replicate. The acoustic properties of ancient theaters demonstrate understanding of sound engineering principles that modern architects struggle to achieve. These theaters provide perfect sound amplification and clarity without electronic enhancement, using design principles that contemporary acoustic engineers find difficult to replicate. The institutional gatekeeping. How suppression operates. The suppression of revolutionary archaeological discoveries operates through institutional mechanisms that appear legitimate but serve to prevent paradigm-threatening evidence from reaching public consciousness. These gatekeeping systems have evolved to maintain orthodox narratives while appearing to support open scientific inquiry. Peer review processes are manipulated to exclude papers that challenge established timelines, with reviewers raising methodological objections that are selectively applied only to heterodox research. Studies that support conventional narratives face much lower evidentiary standards than those that threaten established paradigms. Funding restrictions ensure that research likely to produce paradigm-threatening results receives minimal support, while projects that reinforce orthodox narratives receive generous resources. Graduate students quickly learn that career advancement depends on avoiding research topics that challenge established archaeological orthodoxy. Academic conferences exclude presentations of suppressed discoveries through selection committees that prioritize orthodox interpretations over revolutionary evidence. Researchers who persist in presenting paradigm-threatening findings face professional ostracism that effectively ends their academic careers. The price of truth. Careers destroyed for evidence. Archaeologists and researchers who have attempted to publicize suppressed discoveries have faced systematic career destruction that serves as warning to others who might consider challenging orthodox narratives. These professional assassinations operate through academic mechanisms that appear legitimate while effectively silencing dissent. Dr. Michael Cremo has documented hundreds of archaeological discoveries that contradict evolutionary timelines, but his research has been excluded from mainstream archaeological publications and conferences. Despite meticulous documentation and rigorous methodology, his work is dismissed through ad hominem attacks rather than scientific refutation. Graham Hancock's research into advanced ancient civilizations has been systematically excluded from academic archaeology despite presenting compelling evidence and reasonable hypotheses. His exclusion serves to maintain the fiction that alternative archaeological theories lack scholarly support. Independent researchers who lack academic credentials face even more systematic exclusion, regardless of the quality of their evidence or the validity of their methodologies. The academic gatekeeping system ensures that paradigm-threatening discoveries can be dismissed based on the credentials of their discoverers rather than the merits of their evidence. Breaking the silence. The future of suppressed archaeology. Despite systematic institutional suppression, revolutionary archaeological evidence continues to accumulate through independent researchers, leaked university documents, and researchers brave enough to risk their careers for scientific truth. This growing body of suppressed evidence suggests that human civilization is far older, more sophisticated, and more mysterious than orthodox archaeology acknowledges. Digital platforms and alternative media are beginning to bypass traditional academic gatekeeping, allowing suppressed discoveries to reach public consciousness despite institutional resistance. As evidence accumulates, the orthodox narrative becomes increasingly untenable and institutional suppression becomes more obvious. The ultimate revelation may be that human civilization developed along completely different trajectories than currently understood, with advanced ancient societies achieving technological sophistication through pathways that orthodox archaeology has never considered. The suppressed evidence suggests that we are not the first advanced civilization on Earth, and that our current understanding of human history represents only a fragment of a much larger and more complex story. The evidence is undeniable. Academic institutions have systematically suppressed archaeological discoveries that could revolutionize our understanding of human history. From impossible artifacts to advanced ancient technology, from giant skeletons to underwater cities, the suppressed evidence reveals civilizations far more sophisticated than orthodox archaeology admits. These discoveries aren't being hidden because they're false. They're being hidden because they're true. And that truth threatens to overturn everything we've been taught about our past. Don't let them keep this evidence buried. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and share this video with everyone who deserves to know the real story of human civilization that academia doesn't want you to discover.